Now I know why that was my PLD song. Wow. Wow. I promised myself that I was going to be really vulnerable with you guys because as like the Uber controller, did I say that? The Uber controller that I typically am, most of you don't see that. But this week, I hope you've noticed a little difference. Yay. A little bit? Somebody said, well, just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. We're talking body parts today. Yeah. So I am talking about doing what you feel you fear most. And I have to be honest, I speak a lot. And it's a lot of fun, and I get a lot of nervous energy before I go on stage, but this is the most important stage that I've ever been on in my life. And it's because I am honored and in awe of all of you, because where else could I communicate with so many powerful people who are already doing so many incredible things in their lives that I could possibly influence, even just kick it up a notch for one of you. If I can just kick it up a notch for one of you, and you walk out of here making a bigger, better, faster difference, bigger impact on the planet than you could have before this talk, then I have arrived. So I'm really hoping to have more than that. I'm hoping you all get inspired. I'm inspiring myself. You know, they say you teach what you most need to learn, and I'm totally a product of needing to learn. And I wanted to share a quote with you. I don't have a whole lot of slides, although I really was impressed by the 472 slide deck that Linda was talking about. I was like, oh yeah, let's see that. If you Google Providence Moves To, I took the liberty of editing a bunch out because it's a big, long thing. But this is what I lived that week that we were enrolling people to vote for us during that contest. There were days when I sat in front of my computer and I didn't have any clothes that I could get in front of anybody on, you know, like nightgown. My husband would feed me, he'd take care of everything, and I would just sit there enrolling people to vote. And it was an incredible experience. What happened was I was committed because last year I entered the contest as well, the day before it was over. Was I committed? No. But this time I was committed. I knew, I had no idea how, but I knew I was going to be on this stage with every fiber of my being. And Sean, you gave me a run for my money initially. I was like, wow, what is he doing? He's a master enroller. So what did I do? I enrolled other master enrollers. And it was amazing what happened because we actually, Kath and I, partnered up partway through the project, partway through the actual voting. And we were talking to each other and encouraging each other, and actually teamed up and posted together on several things like Sisters in Leadership in Phoenix and such. And it was really great because she had no idea who I was, other than the video, and I had no idea who she was. And it was interesting because we would encourage her that she is such an amazing, peaceful person that she felt guilty every time she got a vote because that meant somebody else wasn't getting a vote. It was hilarious. And I said, yeah, they need to hear what you had to say. Well, then she found out that I was a Marine. She's like, wait a minute. I'm a peace psychologist, and I partnered up with a Marine to win a contest? There's something wrong with that picture. So I'm going to show you something here that I've never, ever shown anybody else. And don't laugh, okay? Whatever you do, don't laugh. You can laugh. I mean, look at that. Now, yeah. Semper Fi, I salute all of you. I salute all of you, I do. That's probably the only time I ever smiled in the Marine Corps. I think they forced us to. They said, smile or get down and give me 50. And that was right after boot camp. Look at those cheeks. Can you believe those cheeks? And look at that hat. They still use that hat from World War II. So I'm hoping the uniforms are better these days. That was a long time ago. So I want to take a moment to honor the veterans and the service people that hardly ever, I mean, it's better these days, but when I got out, it was like, don't even tell. They told me not to put my service experience on my resume. And, well, that had nothing to do with the fact that my first job, I had a guy getting down on the floor and hand waxing the floor, you know, on his hands and knees. But anyway, the bottom line is, These days we get more recognition, but I want to recognize everybody in the audience right now who is either active military, a veteran, or a first responder of some sort. So would you please stand up, please, everybody? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your service, everybody. Thank you. It's a lot harder today because I was a Marine. I was a Ronald Reagan Marine, so no one would mess with the U.S. back then. So all I did was help keep the planes flying while they were just out on practice maneuvers. It's a lot easier than what you're going through now, and I totally honor you for your service. It was foundational to who I am. And that whole thing of always faithful, it's true. Because you guys, every single one of you in this room, I would go back to back with you. I'd have your 6 covered. I would do anything for you because I know who you are. And I'll always be faithful to you. So if there's something you want to do and you need a way to get there, you're not quite seeing your way, even though I know you have it in you, I'm not going to tell you some magic or rocket science or anything. I want to work with you. I'm so thrilled to be on this stage because we're going to do some cool stuff that's going to get us to our point B, which everybody found out I was a Marine and had me do the point B exercise, and we got there really fast. But the point is, I can get you to your point B. Okay, so let's do it. All right, so you thought I was vulnerable before, and I tried to get all the tears out before up here because Marines don't cry easily. And I was raised by men, so I don't cry easily either. But I want to show you what I did as a result of my PLD experience, and it should be going on to another slide. That beautiful greyhound in the corner, who is no longer with us, is the inspiration, along with PLD, during a really cool exercise that I was honored to be on the ranch during part of PLD, because I did PLD with San Francisco. Thank you. And I was honored to get CERMAC'd to get my contract, which I'm not going to get into right now, but that was quite an experience. See me backing up, talking about the body language. Anyway, this organization, STARS, came out of my greyhound, whose name was Stars, because when they come off the track, he was a retired racer, they got rescued by me, they get names based upon the time that they come off the track. So anyway, he came off around 4th of July. His name is now the acronym for the Society for Treating Animals Right Sustainably. And I don't have time to go over all of it with you. If you are an animal welfarist, though, if you want to see the world a better place for animals so none ever needlessly suffer, talk to me later, because that's really where my heart's at. And I know that that's why I'm here on this planet. So please see me afterwards if you'd like to do something related to that, because I'm really committed to it, and I'm going to show you how committed. So during PLD, this is where you get to zoom in, guys. Or, yeah. So during PLD, we all did crazy things, right? We showed how committed we were. Now, as a Marine, everybody said, "Where's your tattoo? Where's your tattoo?" Well, I didn't have one as a Marine because it just, the women didn't do it back then, just the men. But during PLD, oh, my arm in the way. So that's Stars. That's my greyhound, and that is the starfish, right? Got it? And I am committed to Stars helping one at a time, but I'd love to see you join this and help me do it more than one at a time, because together we can create an exponential impact on animal welfare and other welfare, as we'll talk about. Thank you for not getting me zipping up my pants on the screen. Anyway. So there, how's that for vulnerability, right? Come on. Wow. Anyway, so do you guys ever, who's ever staffed a basic? Just about everybody, right? I staffed a basic a while back, and Paul Theed, who I was hoping was going to be here, inspired me. Isn't he amazing? I missed him this time. We were sitting around in the circle, as we do as staff, and saying why we were there. He asked each one of us, "Why are you here?" And some said, "Oh, to show love. Oh, to help make the space for somebody to get their experience, or to get you water when you need it," whatever. We all went around the circle and he nodded and agreed with everything we said. And then he said, Your purpose here is to be causal. Be causal in the lives of the people that are coming here this weekend. We don't know what it is they want to do. We don't know where it is they want to go. We don't know where they've been. All you need to do is be a causal individual in their lives. And that was the seed for a company that I just started called Be Causal, which really, this is its maiden voyage right here at Principia this year. And I want to shout out to somebody in the audience who, I don't know if you know this, but there are 67 shades of ADD. Be grateful, I'm not going to share them all with you this morning. But there's a gal in the audience, Cynthia Wallace. I'd like you to stand up, Cynthia. She's back there. She helped me keep my feet on the ground. She's the reason there's a business plan. She's the reason there's a logo. She's the reason that there's anything of substance beyond just an idea about Be Causal. And Cynthia, I am so grateful to you for helping that make it happen. It wouldn't be there. Yeah, zoot, zoot, zoot. It wouldn't be there if not for you. So thank you. Let's give her a big round of applause, will you, please? Yeah. Oh. So how about that grateful ring, huh? How many of you have actually experienced something bigger, better, based on the grateful ring? Just raise your hand. Yeah, some of you have been talking to me about actually helping with the ADD and with feeling grateful and with just feeling good. And that's really what it's about. There's a science behind gratitude that I don't have time to go into, but you heard a lot of the speakers talk about it. And there's a lot to do with just building neural pathways to being more successful, et cetera. And even Cortland said one of the 3 things you should do is live a life of gratitude. So what I want to talk about is how we can actually use this to drive our goals forward. And I don't know what it is that you got this week that inspired you, probably a lot. But if you could take some of it home, like all the speakers have been talking about, the self-esteem piece that Renee was talking about, or the 21-day gluten-free, or 66 days of shut the full cup, or whatever it ends up being. What if you could use this tool and an exercise that I'm going to talk about here in a minute to actually make it happen more effectively than if you just went back to re-entry and business as usual. Would that be a good thing? Yeah. Okay. Well, first let me show you what I'm grateful for. Some of the things I'm grateful for. This is my husband in the upper right corner. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary just before Principia. Yes. Some of you probably know him, Kevin Jennings. Some of you might have gone to size 7 or LS with him. My daughter, Nick, I know there's some of her size 7 buddies in the crowd, yeah. And then that's Star's successor, Taz. He's 2 years old. He was a total flop on the track. Thank goodness we got him. And he's going to be a spokesperson for the whole greyhound. I don't know if you know anything about retired racing greyhounds. It's a pretty horrific industry. We're racing neutral, but we end up telling a lot of people about it so that more of them get adopted so they don't get slaughtered. They're incredible creatures. These are some of the things I'm grateful for, and I know you all have been thinking about things that you're grateful for this week as well. So what I want to do is actually talk about how we can focus on the tools that we discovered this week, or even some of the stuff from the basic. What are there, like 3,000 tools in the basic, and we only use like 1 or 2 of them? I think it's like 86 or something, but it's a lot. We have all, that's what is so inspiring to me and awesome to me, that all of you out here could be up here talking about what you've created in your lives. And let me step back a second. Why were there only 11 videos to choose from to get here on this stage? Can you tell me that? Why did only 11 people put their name in the hat and get out there and, was it self-esteem, like Renee was talking about? You guys, you all have a message, and I want to hear it. Everybody, if you heard it all week. If you've got something in you, it's got to happen. So just do it next time. Who's going to be in the contest next year? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. Remember those hands. So we're going to have an exercise about that in a minute. So I want to see what we can do to get bigger, better, faster results. Somebody throw something out that was something they learned that they want to take back with them. Anything. Just throw it out.
Time management.
Time management. What else? No more foofing. Right. What's that? Paradigm shift. Okay, what else?
Water.
Drinking 6 liters of water? Yeah, that would be pretty tough for me. Living in belief, okay. Drop the ego. Woot, woot. Zoot, 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 okay.
Words are powerful. Choose carefully.
Okay, good. And what's that?
Do more.
Do more. Okay, good. Well, have you guys ever looked at the statistics? I think somebody talked about the statistics about goals and how if you write them down, you get them more effectively, whatever. I'm not going to go over all those. You could look it up on the internet. But there is one thing you can do that will actually get you to your goals like 95% of the time. And we have the opportunity to do that right here today. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
All right. Turn to your partner, pick one, and if you need to make a triad, do that. Reach out and shake their hand and tell them, I'm grateful for you being my accountability partner for the next 90 days. Huh? Accountability. Shake hand and say, I'm grateful that you're my accountability partner for the next 90 days. Okay. Stay with me. Stay with me. So that may be somebody you know, it may be somebody you don't know. You don't need to do it right now, but before you leave the ranch, exchange information and find out what your check-in's going to be. It might be a text every day that you're drinking your 6 liters. It might be a call once a week. But we heard from some of the speakers that it's 21 days and 66 days. 90 days is a typical quarter for us. Let's just do it that way. And then you can renew or fire them and get another one for the next 90 days.
Julie, we missed the instructions.
Okay. Who are you sitting next to?
Enrique and Jody.
You're a triad on accountability. You are accountability partners for the next 90 days. You're welcome. So make sure you have each other's information. And then what you want to do is share what it is you're going to do and come up with your agreement and keep that agreement. Come back to me, folks. You want to come up with your agreement, come up with your goal that you're going to work on, and then do it. And if your accountability partner doesn't live up to your standards, then fire them and get another one. Seriously, look at all these people you have to choose from. I'm sure there are more people back at home that you could choose. Yeah, he could fire you too. Great. All right, so what you can do in the 90 days is actually use this grateful ring, and again, look up the science because there's amazing science behind gratitude. And spin it and think about gratitude. Create some new neural pathways. Look up the science behind gratitude, and you will see that in that 90 days, you should be able to create massive results beyond. And you and your accountability partner will keep each other on track. Because if you commit to somebody else, I mean, how easy is it for me to break my agreement with myself? Yes. But if I'm committed to somebody else, then it's a lot harder, right? Okay, good. I want to tell you what happened to me when I started using this ring and started having my own accountability partner. 2 days after I won this contest, I went to this event on intuition because I'm the kind of person that has ignored my inner voice so much because I didn't really think it was real or valid. I'd only listen to the negative voice. Can you relate? And I walked into this intuition session, and they give you a card at the beginning, and I pulled out this card. It says, victorious, you have done it, celebrate your victory. And I was so thrilled. Yeah, it was awesome, but you know what else? That whole Providence Moves To quote I gave you earlier, after I won this contest, several other things happened. I'm actually a president of a Toastmasters group, and I entered this contest that scared me. It was a contest to be a funny speaker. You know, it's a humor speak contest. Oh my God, yes. Humor speech contest. And the ad hoc one, so I entered it. And that was 3 days after Principia's contest was over, and I won both of those. Thank you. But they didn't tell me that now I have to go on to the next level and compete at the next level. So I met with this gal who I had, during this whole enrolling thing, I let everything else go. I mean, it was 24/7 enrolling, and amazing things happened. Like Truman Hunt, the chairperson of New Skin, got on the bandwagon and then enrolled his whole team, and that's when the numbers shot up. And that's when I was able to and I was like, wow, I should have done that to start with. But what happened was I met with this lady that I had actually pushed off and said, I can't meet with you because I'm too busy doing this enrolling thing. She looked at that little 2-minute video that you saw at the beginning. We met for lunch and she said, I have this company that's creating disruptive medical technology that is going to take mobile units into depressed areas, third world countries, and rural areas and take the medicine to the people. And I want you to be on the stage in January in India at this conference that they've already invited us to and talk about what we're doing. I mean, can you see me? I was like, what? We just barely met. But that's the power of intention. I did not have to come up with some mechanism. I just knew that I knew was going to be on the stage this year. And just because I put that energy out there and my intention out there, Providence moved. And now Be Causal, and I haven't even told this to Cynthia yet, that Be Causal has its first client right there in Phoenix. This amazing woman who is being causal in her life and wants to be causal globally. And that's the kind of thing that can happen when you put gratitude in action, get accountability partners, and really focus on what you want. You don't need to know the how-to. And when Brian was talking about mechanism, whatever, I said he should have gone to the basic because we don't really need to know the mechanism. It appears. Even if it's something like this ring that just pops up and now you can focus or now you can feel gratitude or somebody here is going to be your accountability partner or help you with a project once you have that intention out there. So for me, it's all happening. And this is the most important thing in my life, professionally and personally, in terms of connecting with a group of people, is right here on this stage. And I'm just beyond excited about this. I've been calling it over the moon. I've never used that term before, but for some reason, I don't know whether it was the bridge or whatever, but I've been over the moon this week about just being here with you guys because this is what I wanted and this is what I got. And that doesn't always happen because I guess I don't have the commitment. But anyway, I'm digressing. I want you guys to actually keep me in the loop because I would like to know what you create this year. And I would like to help if I can. Like I said, I'm really good at getting to point B. You just let me know where you want to go and I can help you. And this is not an offer for you to purchase my services. That has nothing to do with it. I want to be part of your success if you need me and if I would be value added. Because I'm thrilled with what we're going to create. You heard Tim talk about the session that's going to happen next year where you talk about results you create, because that worksheet he came up with, that's a pretty awesome tool, isn't it? How many of you are going to get that Excel one and start using that? Yeah, that's amazing. So if we could look at the slide here, I would just want to encourage you to just stay grateful for what you have, because we know that that whole law of attraction happens when we're focusing on what we really want. And keep things moving forward. Remember last year, how many of you were here last year when we heard about the GPS? Dooley talked about the whole GPS, where all you need to do is just move, right? All you need to do is just keep moving, and that GPS will tell you make a legal U-turn, turn right, whatever. Just keep it moving. If this helps you focus on keeping moving, that's great. If you want to get in touch with me, there's an email address that I think you might be able to see, julie@becausal.org. Just let me know what's happening with you. And I just want to encourage you to do what I did. I mean, this scared me half to death, getting up on this stage. But I really wanted it, and I went for it. And I'm here, and I'm so grateful that you guys were part of that. Like, this is your win too, because we are all one, right? I feel it for you, and I want to bid you have for you too. So let's see what we can do going forward. Let's take Paul Feed's little seed that he gave me about being causal and just take it forward as far as we can. And next year at Principia, we can come back together and share just how amazing we have been this year based upon our choice to have our intention on what we really want to do. So I want to thank you all for being part of this win for me. I'm really just overwhelmed with gratitude for every one of you. And I'm hoping that we can connect some more during the rest of our time here at Principia. Namaste.